The fates of 5 people born in the year of the pig were bound to pigs, their foreheads smeared with pig blood and their hair stuffed into the pigs' mouths. The sorceress slashed her own face wildly with a knife, then grabbed scalding charcoal ash and rubbed it directly onto her skin. This was the most terrifying ritual before exhuming graves in Korea. With each shovelful of earth, a cut was made on the dead pig's body. Soon, a juniper coffin was unearthed. However, once the coffin was opened, malevolent spirits would come for them. The client this time was Park Ji-young. 3 generations of his family had been plagued by a curse. The sorceress Hwa-rim accepted an astronomical fee and brought her team to handle this supernatural case. Due to rain, the coffin was moved to a morgue. A greedy person secretly pried it open. The moment a crack appeared, a burst of black mist shot out violently, knocking the sorceress unconscious. When she came to, blood was streaming uncontrollably from her nose. Trembling, she said the malevolence of whatever was inside was more terrifying than all the evil entities she'd encountered in her entire life combined. Soon, trouble arrived. Park Ji-young's father suddenly stood at the window and called out, "Father, please come in." The next second, sounds of swallowing food echoed through the room. The old man discovered his father's spirit sitting at the dining table, demanding to know why he had been buried in such a cold, damp place. Hwa-rim immediately prepared to capture the ghost. She had her apprentice Bong-gil act as a vessel, wrapping him in talismans, intending to seal the escaped spirit back. The moment the soul possessed Bong-gil, it said, "I will take my descendants with me, take them all." Then it broke free and escaped. At that moment, Park Ji-young was showering in a hotel when his phone suddenly rang. It was the feng shui master Sang-deok calling. Sang-deok's panicked voice said, "Whatever you do, don't open the door. There's a problem with your grandfather's grave." But just then, someone knocked on the door, and Sang-deok's voice also came from outside. Park Ji-young was bewildered. Which one was real? The voice on the phone shouted, "Quick, open the window and get away from the door." Park Ji-young complied, but the instant the window opened, eerie laughter came through the phone. He jerked his head up to see his grandfather's spirit hanging from the ceiling, flashing him a horrifying smile. When the real Sang-deok arrived at the room, Park Ji-young had already been possessed. He struck the pose of a Japanese soldier, spouting a stream of oath-like speeches, then frantically downed 10 bottles of water. Finally, he said, "The fox broke the tiger's back." Then he snapped his own neck. Only then did Sang-deok realize this wasn't an ordinary ancestral grave problem. A greater conspiracy lurked behind it. Sang-deok decided to return to the mountain to examine the excavated gravesite. But the moment his shovel struck the ground, he froze. Beneath the soil lay another coffin, buried vertically, an absolute taboo in Korea. Even more bizarre, the coffin was bound with iron chains, as if sealing something inside. After they hauled the coffin up, all the foxes in the area scattered in terror. They transported the coffin to a temple at the foot of the mountain, planning to burn it first thing in the morning. Bong-gil was startled awake by a nightmare in the middle of the night. He saw a monk covered in blood standing on him, saying, "My liver is missing. Have you seen my liver?" When he fully awakened, the temple was eerily silent. He got up to find the monk and discovered a horrifying scene at the pigsty. The monk's body lay on the ground, completely disemboweled.